Today we will study about the list in list data structure in Python. A list is a sequence. Sequence means it is a it contains a sequence of other objects, like it can contain a sequence of numbers, sequence of strings, sequence of objects, and because it's a sequence, it can contain different objects. Like it is possible to store a number and a string and an object of another type in a sequence. List have therefore list can have different types of values. We can find the number of items in the list by using the length function, len. We can concatenate. Concatenate means we can merge two lists to make a new list. Similarly, we can split or divide a list using a bracket and colon syntax, as is shown on the screen. Suppose we have a list of numbers 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 that is saved in whose reference is saved in variable a. Now the print a1 comma 2 will print 4 comma 3. Here the first number inside the bracket, which is 1, tells us the location of the first item in the sequence, and the second number just after the colon, which is 2, tells the number of items to be taken out from the list. So as in Python, the numbering of list starts from 0. So the location of number 5 is 0, 4 is 1, 3 is 2, and so on. So 4 is at location 1, and two numbers from that location is 4 and 3. That's why print a1 colon 2 will create a new list 4 comma 3, and the statement will print that list which is 4 comma 3. Now let's do some programming examples of the list. There are again 3 examples of list. In the first example, I have created a list of numbers and stored the reference of that list in variable a. The print statement, print a will print the whole list on the screen. In case of list, as I have mentioned, the first line, list is a sequence similar to one-dimensional array. Actually, list is not array. In PHP, there is no such thing as array. This is just to make you understand that is so that you can understand a sequence easily. Otherwise, internally, a list and array are two different things. List contains a reference to the sequence, like on line number 5, a, which is a list, is actually has actually a reference to the sequence which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 11, and each item or each value in a sequence is also a reference to that value. So in this sequence we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 references. The first reference refers to value 1, the second reference refers to value 2, and so on. The benefit of this is that we can change the references to other values, and hence we can change the data of the list, but this is not possible in array in this way. One more difference between list and arrays of fixed size, whereas in case of list we can add items to the list, we can remove items from the list, we can also, as I have mentioned just before, that we can also merge or concatenate two lists to make a new list. This is not possible in arrays. Now in the second example, we have a list of strings or text elements. So parts is the name of the list, and this refers to a sequence that has 3 items: motherboard, CPU, and RAM. And if you print write the statement print parts, it will print all 3 elements on the screen. The last example is an empty list. it means that we have created a list, but we have not yet assigned any items or values to the list, and we will assign it later through a for loop. The loops on line number 14 and line number 19 are simply for loop that we have done before. They just iterate over the list values and print them. Now we will come to line number 24. Here I have used a for loop that will first fill the empty list with even number values, and later on it will print the values in the list. So for I in range 1, 12, it means I will loop over the values from 1 to 11. In the next line, we have checked if the value of I is divisible by 2 or not. So we know that if a number is divisible by 2, it is even number. We have used the modulus operator. I mod 2 will take the will divide the number in I by 2 and take its remainder. Now if you divide any number by 2 and the remainder is 0, it means the number is even, otherwise the number is odd. So that's why if it is checked that if I mod 2 is equals to 0, which means if the number is 0, if the number is even, then add that number to the empty list. Now to add a number to the list, the method is append. So we write the name of the list variable, which is empty, then we write the method operator, a member operator dot, and then write the name of the method. So empty dot append will append the value which we will pass on to the append function, and it will add that value to the list named empty. So when this for loop will execute, it will add all those values of I which are even to this line, which will append those even values to the empty list, and later on we will print that list. Now let's execute the program and see the answer. The first two are simple. Here is the first print statement. It will simply print this sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Then this is again iterate over values on a list. This will again print the values in list A. Here are those values. The first one is this from the print statement, this one, and these are through this loop statement, this one, and then this loop is printing the parts, name of parts of the computer. This is this example, and then the last one. So we have only this loop has added only even numbers between 1 and 11 to the empty list, and now the empty list is not empty and it has these 5 values 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. List is very important and beneficial data structure. Whenever we have to process a large amount of data, we use list to store it, and even if we don't know the size of data in advance, we create an empty list, just I have done in this example, and then as we receive the data, we add the data to the list, and later on we will process it as per our requirement. In the next lecture, we will see how to create a list of list or two-dimensional list. This is an example of a single-dimensional list. In the next lecture, we will see two-dimensional list. So this is for today. Thank you.